Today I'm going to be showing you how I actually predict crypto price moves, everything including from what I look at, why it works, and how it helps me avoid getting railed like everyone else. So that's really it. Let's just get right into it. So the first thing I look at is going to be liquidation maps. Now I like to use CoinGlass. I know Hyperliquid has its own map, and there's a couple other big platforms that offer one as well, but I just prefer CoinGlass. So we're going to head over to CoinGlass, and once you're there, you're going to see liquidation in the top. Now go to liquidation heat map model 2. Now, once you're here, make sure you click over to symbol and it's not on pair. Now, next is how to read this, guys. The bright yellow lines, it equals built up leverage. You can expect price to sweep these levels before a major move in either direction. Now, here's the rule. Price moves toward liquidity like a magnet, but only if it aligns with the bigger setup. So just because you see these yellow bars here on the liquidation map does not mean the market is going to nuke through those levels or bounce off those levels. You have to remember it's context over colors. Next is order books and walls. Now, I like to use Hyperliquid for this just because I think their order book is elite, but you can use Hyperliquid or Binance. Here's the truth that nobody will tell you. Large walls are usually bait, guys, not support. So if price hovers right under a buy or a sell wall for too long, then yeah, someone's about to get cooked and it's basically a trap. The next thing I'm going to be checking is going to be the funding rates. Now, why? Because funding is where you see who's being emotional. I like to use CoinGlass again for this. You guys can feel free to use whatever you want. Now, positive and rising, that means the crowd is long. Negative and rising, that means the crowd is short. But when the funding is flat, then bro, that's kind of like the calm before the storm. That's the everyone's scared, but nobody really knows what's next kind of part. And so moves born in the flat funding kind of hit different because there's something brewing here. Now, when you head over to CoinGlass and you check the funding rates, just use whatever pair you're currently trading and then whatever exchange you're currently using. If you're outside of the US, it's kind of towards your advantage because you can use whatever exchange you like and the best funding that you like as well without being limited. Next, we have the fear and greed index. You can stick with CoinGlass again for this one as well. Extreme fear equals sideline liquidity and extreme greed equals exit liquidity. Now, the way I like to think about it is just simple as this. When everyone thinks they're a genius, I start to get nervous. And when everyone thinks crypto is dead, I start to get interested. Next up, guys, we have the ETF flows and other macro news events. For the ETF flows, I just use CoinGlass's model for this. And then for macro news events, guys, I really just use Twitter, honestly, for all of my news. Net inflows equals institutions care. Outflows equal they're securing the bag. And for the news, basically 90% of it is just a smokescreen for moves that were already planned anyway. So ask yourself this, does this news actually change anything? Or is it just the excuse they needed to run the liquidity sweep? We're almost done, guys, but this one is a big one, and that's going to be intent because price doesn't just move, it targets. So ask yourself this, is this move a sweep, a trap, or just uncertainty farming? Because intent reveals itself when everything else lines up. Now, that means your funding, positioning, sentiment, and liquidity all come together, and you're basically reading the predator behind the price. Now, before I trust any move, I created a little checklist. We could call it the drip list if you want. So these are things that I ask myself before I enter any trade, and that's going to be, does it cause max pain? Does it keep the big narrative alive? Does it align with the timing? Does it attract sideline liquidity? And so if the answer is yes to all of that, then the move is real. If it's not, then it's bait. Now that's my actual process, guys. You know, it's nothing fancy. I just read the market's incentives. That's it. So if you want to see what I'm trading day to day, all my socials will be linked down below. And if there's a video you want me to make or anything you want to ask, feel free to drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.